Welcome back to another video on the channel today. We're back today and of course, as always, we're back talking about Wrexham Football Club. Today I'm going to be bringing you a Wrexham roundup of things that have happened in the past week or so at the football club, and of course we're going to be previewing our massive game on Saturday against fellow promotion chasers Stockport County. I'm going to be talking about a very interesting topic, of course, regarding some players which might have some contradicting opinions from you watching at home. But before we get going in today's video, if you are looking for all the best Wrexham AFC content, this is the place to be. We are so close to 26,000 subscribers. I think at the time of recording this we're 115 away, so if you're watching this video and you look down there and you haven't clicked the red subscribe button, please consider doing so. I cannot thank you enough for the incredible support you've shown the channel over the past couple of videos, and of course everyone that has supported the channel further. It massively means a lot and I cannot thank you enough for all the extra support and just the support in general you've shown me. So let's as well try and go for 375 likes and let's get talking about Wrexham. So starting off from our win on the weekend against Wycombe Wanderers, could this be Wrexham's biggest win of the season so far in League One? We defeated promotion rivals Wycombe Wanderers away from home, which is an incredible win, 1-0 after a moment of magic from our new striker Sam Smith. It puts us, of course, joint on points with Wycombe as things stand. They had that game in hand away at Rotherham United, which they unfortunately won last night 3-2, which was a very close game. And we're going to be talking later on as well how big this win could be in terms of our promotion race. But yeah, by the time I was doing these notes, they hadn't played that game in hand. And watching it last night, I was biting my nails, hoping that Rotherham United were going to pull something out of the bag. They went 1-0 up, and just looking at their performances of late and their counter-attacking abilities, I thought was really good. They hit Rotherham on the counter really well. The speed that they got up the pitch as well and the efficiency going forward I thought was really good. Richard Kona up front as well came back into the lineup. He wasn't in for Wrexham, so could that have been a different story if he was in the lineup against us? We really don't know. But Wycombe, they looked okay. I think there was times in the game where there was literally just nothing in it at all. It was quite a boring game at times, but it really livened up in the second half. But in terms of the game on Saturday away at Wycombe, I thought both teams had chances in the first half, but as always with Wrexham Football Club and as always with a game at the top end of the table, it's going to be cagey. Teams are not going to want to make mistakes or make risks, and I think going into this 1-0 was a scoreline a lot of people probably expected. But the first half, which saw chances mostly fall for Wycombe Wanderers, there were a couple of chances where Arthur made some saves, nothing too serious where you thought, you know, Wycombe Wanderers could have gone in 1-2-0 up at the break. But I think the biggest chance of them all and the closest chance was in the near own goal from Jack Grimmer in the first half, where he just diverted it wide of his post. So there was nothing really in it first half. I think both teams are getting a feel to the game and a feel of each other, of what they can expect, of course, going into the second half. A moment of magic in the second half proved to be pivotal in the game and could prove to be pivotal in our promotion push. On the 78th minute, after that lengthy stoppage, my thoughts go out, of course, to the fan who was taken ill at the game, and of course it's nothing you really do want to see at the football. So I think he's recovering well in hospital, so let's wish him a speedy recovery. But I mean, on the game there was a lengthy stoppage. Both teams, of course, had like 5-6 minutes to warm up afterwards, and you know, straight away Wycombe had that corner, it was cleared off the line, and then a minute later we go up that other end. Sam Smith fired in the winner from a tight angle. There was a slight deflection on it. How big will that goal be? Time will definitely tell. With 9 games left of the season, that Sam Smith goal could be the biggest goal we have seen under the takeover. And hypothetically, if we'd have drawn that game to Wycombe, dropped 2 points in that, Wycombe would have now in this position been 4 points ahead of us. So 4 points ahead with 9 games to go. I think this could be one of the biggest wins we've seen in years for Wrexham Football Club. That's if we've got something to show for it at the end of the season. Promotion I'm talking about. So yeah, it's a massive win on the road. We've picked up some big wins recently, and let's hope our confidence can be sky high going into this, because we have every right to be. We've just defeated the team that everyone has struggled to beat this season. Everyone's looking at the team, you know, they've surprised everyone, and Wrexham have gone there and got a massive 3 points. So talking now on what you've clicked on this video to see, we're going to be talking on the Ollie Palmer and Paul Mullin situation. Now, it's a very hot topic amongst Wrexham fans at the minute, and Paul Mullin, our striker, has directly responded to these rumours on social media. So a bit of a backstory, Mullin and Palmer, of course, we all know it, have both played a massive role over the years at Wrexham Football Club, have, been the front two for us when we got out of the National League, when we had that near promotion, of course, to the EFL in the first season. They helped us get promotion to League One last season, and, following a rough patch of form this season in League One, 6 goals between them across, I think it's like 50 games combined, clearly wasn't enough and clearly wasn't, satisfying Phil Parkinson. And our striking department was somewhere where Parky wanted to, of course, strengthen in and add quality in, and he brought in this huge signings of Sam Smith and Jay Rodriguez in the January transfer window. 2 signings which have put Mullin and Palmer's place in the matchday squad in jeopardy. Something that might blow your minds, and at the start of the season, this is something we never thought I'd be reading or saying on this channel. Since the signings of Smith and Rodriguez, which happened of course in late January, so nearly 2 months ago, Mullin has only featured in the matchday squad once, and Palmer has not been seen in the squad since our home defeat on the 28th of January against Stevenage. After playing such a big role in the first half of the season, he has been totally excluded from the matchday squad and hasn't been seen for nearly 2 months. Yeah, and this is something that hasn't settled right with Wrexham fans, and it's caused a lot of mixed opinions and angered a lot of Wrexham fans. And I think the most important thing is that there's a lot of rumours that have been doing the rounds recently on social media, on Facebook, fans chats, and people thinking they know in the know and trying to cause a stir. And some people are saying they've refused to go out on loan. Some people have said they've had a falling out with Parky. That's Palmer aimed, because we've seen his dad take to social media to have his say on the situation, which he's since deleted. It's all up in the air at the minute. It's a situation that needs to be resolved, and it's a situation, like I said, that's gone completely up in there, blown out of proportion, and has become a massive talking point amongst Wrexham fans. And in my opinion, we've seen Phil Parkinson have his say, and I'll have my say later on. I think people are looking into this far too much. Yeah, and I think the main talking point and the main reason you clicked on this video, someone tweeted that Paul Mullin had gone to Rob and Ryan over arguments he'd had with Phil Parkinson or something along those lines. Paul Mullin responded on Twitter with a short but effective reply of nonsense. So I think that sort of settles any rumours that there has been falling outs and players have not been happy with this situation. Of course, Mullin and Palmer will not be happy at all with their situations, but it's people like this and people that can easily put stuff on social media without anything getting fact checked these days. You can say what you want and people will believe it, especially with Wrexham fans. So it clears the air, no arguments happening, no falling out. And of course, following up from that, Paul Mullin has been seen training with the squad, likewise with Ollie Palmer this week. So both are still involved in this squad, and we saw Phil Parkinson say this morning that Paul Mullin and Ollie Palmer are both itching to get into that matchday squad and are both still training to get that place in the matchday squad. So I think people watching at home, it's normal for a player to be frustrated with a situation like this, and it seems, and we've heard of course from Phil Parkinson, that Palmer and Mullin are both fighting for their spot. They're still both training with the football club, which is the most important thing, which I think some people might not have expected, of course, especially with Ollie Palmer, with him not being seen for nearly 2 months. They are still training with the club, so nothing deeper than probably the fact that we've signed 2 new players. They've been obviously excluded from the squad. They've still got to work for their place. And like Phil Parkinson said, he's picking the players based on training and match performances recently. But contradicting what I said, maybe he's not training hard enough. Maybe these 2 aren't training hard enough that they're not getting that place in their matchday squad. Of course, for 2 months, for only one of them to be seen in the matchday squad over that period of time, it either shows that Marriott, the likes of Fletcher, Rodriguez, Sam Smith, Mo Fowl even, are all training harder than Mullin and Palmer. So it is an interesting situation in that sense to think that, they've both played so predominant roles over the years, and especially even in League One this season. And you look at Mo Fowl, he's had a couple of good games in the EFL Trophy, and there's been games where he's been picked over Mullin and Palmer. That makes you think, is there maybe something slightly happening in this situation that's further than, of course, them training hard week in, week out? Because I'm sure no player's standards completely drop in training. But if I was the manager and Phil Parkinson, I would still even consider Mullin and Palmer to be in the matchday squad. Of course, he is considering them, but they've not been seen at all. And the likes of Paul Mullin, who's been a striker over the years that can produce that moment of magic. We saw him earlier this season score that really good goal on Boxing Day, and I think he still has got it in him. He's just been so unfortunate this season with that surgery he had in pre-season, and he has just not been up to scratch. So I think a full pre-season for Paul Mullin. I hope for his sake he can get back to his full self, because there is a brilliant striker in Paul Mullin, and it's just unfortunate we haven't seen the fraction of the striker he's been for us over the years. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Would you consider having Ollie Palmer and Paul Mullin back in the matchday squad? If you were in Phil Parkinson's boots, if you were looking at, Jack Marriott playing, Mo Farah playing over their past performances, would you look at it and think Mullin and Palmer have got 6 goals combined, they've got more goals, than both of those? Would you consider having one of those in the matchday squad? For me, I would love to see Mullin come back into the squad for such a big game, which we're going to talk about now. So moving on to our preview of our massive game on Saturday. Yet another huge game awaits for Wrexham Football Club. Those are words I'm going to be saying a lot in the last 9 games of the season. It's 3rd Wrexham Football Club versus 5th Stockport County, a game that has always had a lot riding on it over the years, but this might have the biggest stakes up for grabs in League One on Saturday, as Wrexham and Stockport County clash for an encounter which could be pivotal in either team's chances of getting promotion to the Championship. So going into this game, Wrexham Football Club of course have the 2nd best home record in the league this season with 43 points. And looking at our opponent Stockport County, they rank 5th in the away form table. But funnily enough, as Wrexham fans look at our away form and think we are absolutely dire away from home, yes, it's picked up a bit recently, but we currently have the same amount of away points as Stockport County. They've just got a better goal difference. So both teams sit on 28 away points. So could that sort of give Wrexham a slight advantage? I really don't think so. Of course, we've been defeated by Stevenage and Leyton Orient at home. So if we can get the racecourse rocking, maybe there's a chance we could put 2 or 3 past them like we have done in previous seasons. But League One is a different kettle of fish to the National League days. But in the last 7 games, Stockport County have picked up 12 out of a possible 21 points. Wrexham have picked up 13 out of a possible 21 points. So both teams are going into this on similar form. Both teams, of course, have coming off the back of this with 2 really good away wins. Stockport County defeating Bolton Wanderers 1-0, and of course Wrexham defeating Wycombe Wanderers away 1-0. So confidence in both camps is going to be sky high. It's going to be a game where I think quality will decide it, and of course great at the back. Stockport County are good going forward. It is going to be a really tasty affair at the racecourse ground. Like I said, expect a feisty game. It's either going to be another 1-0 tight game for Wrexham, or either team are just going to put goals in for fun. If I'm being realistic, it's probably going to be 1-0, 1-1, 2-1. We've learned this season that there's not a lot of goals to be scored in League One. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. How do you think we are going to do against Stockport County? Like I said, in my opinion, I am confident we can pull through. Touch wood, I've not jinxed that, but I do believe Wrexham Football Club can get the job done. Just imagine now if we just completely turned it on for the last 9 games of the season, if we just became a super team, which I'm very confident in these players that they can still give more, they can score more goals, they can put in better performances, and they can just ride the game out better. But we're still yet to see that of recent weeks. Imagine just Wrexham Football Club now just go on a really good 27 out of 27 points end to the season. It would be fantastic. It is not going to happen. We've got a lot of tough games, but let's hope this can be the start of a 9-game period of set League One on fire. Again, touch wood that does happen, and touch wood that I haven't just jinxed that now and we go 0 out of 27 points. But yeah, if you did enjoy, make sure to drop a like, make sure to click the red subscribe button. We're on the road to 26,000 subscribers, as I've said many times on the channel, and I'll see you in another video. Take care guys, up the town.